Yeah, all right. Welcome back to KM6LYW Radio, the show about amateur radio or ham radio with an emphasis on digital or data modes, moving information back and forth, reimagining amateur radio in the information age. Hey, we've got two different projects that we work on this channel. One's called YGate, turns any Yaesu mobile unit into a APRS packet IGate. And we've also got another project called Direwatch, which displays APRS traffic information on your Raspberry Pi or maybe to a file. So let's see if we can smash those two together and get something that's bigger than the sum of its parts here, this time on KM6LYW Radio. Yep. Too long? All right. Okay. Welcome back. You know, I'm running out of jingles, guys, and you guys have made some suggestions, but it's got to be short and sweet and recognizable. Like that one's a little long and it's not necessarily recognizable. So I'm still working on it. You know, we've got 120 something of these videos. So let's see if we can take YGate and Direwatch and smash all this together and see if we can do APRS stuff with a Raspberry Pi and a Yaesu mobile unit. So a few videos ago, I did a video on YGate. And what YGate does, it's really just a Python script. You can run on a Raspberry Pi, you can run on Windows, Linux, doesn't matter. It's just a Python script. And it talks to your Yaesu mobile unit through this SCU20 cable that Yaesu threw in the box for the FTM100, the FTM400. And I'm learning from you guys, they didn't put this serial to USB cable in the box for like the newer ones, the 300 and the 500. So if you can find this cable, I don't know, maybe you can get it aftermarket somehow, SCU20, and you plug this cable into your back of your FTM400 to 100 300 using this 10-pin connector, and then the other end is USB, and you plug that into a Raspberry Pi. And you get the YGate software at github.com/KragerL/YGate. And you run this software, and it actually takes the packet information coming out of your Yaesu mobile rig and forwards it onto the internet. So you actually become an IGate for all APRS traffic, and we can always use more IGates that helps radios communicate. So APRS packet radio is kind of like the texting side of your radio. You know how your phone has a voice and data side, voice and text? Well, APRS packet radio is kind of like the texting, so we can send text messages to other radios, but it's always good to have a lot of radios in your region so the radios can be connected not only to each other, but also through the internet. So YGate helps us do that on Yaesu mobile rigs. This doesn't work on any other like ICOM or anything else. Again, this is for, that's why we call it YGate for Yaesu. So this is for the Yaesu guys, Yaesu mobile rigs who want to become iGates. But I thought would be cool is to actually make this little screen work with YGate. So we've got another project called Direwatch. And Direwatch is also, actually we go to my GitHub home. I don't want to log into someone else. Go to my, again, for github.com/KragerL, and you're going to see a project called Direwatch. This is the display driver for that little TFT display. And you can get that TFT display at Adafruit, which I totally recommend. Great folks there. Or you can get it at Amazon. We're only talking about $24 for two of them. Hey, you can build two of these for 24 bucks. All you need is a Raspberry Pi Zero, which you can get here at pieshop.us. And I'm displaying this one because it has the solders already soldered on. So this is a zero. I'm giving you a no solder guarantee to put all this stuff together. All right, so we got the Raspberry Pi. We've got this cool little display on here, and we've got YGate and we've got Direwatch. So let's smash these together. I've got this console open on this Raspberry Pi. And this is plugged into my Yaesu FTM400 using this SCU20 serial cable that we just talked about. See if you guys can find these. If you're an FTM400 to 100 owner, you already have that cable. So you've got no excuse. So we're talking about a $20 Raspberry Pi and a $12 screen here. And a Yaesu FTM400, 100, 300, 500. All right, so we've got this tuned to an APRS frequency on the lower VFO. It has to be on the lower VFO. Also, we've got the modem is on the radio settings and the menus here. It's set to NMEA 9 and packet output on the radio. This is documented on the GitHub websites, but just to let you know, there is a little bit of configuration that you might need to use on your radio. Okay, so I want you to get a copy of Direwatch at my GitHub site and then also get a copy of YGate. I'm not going to go into the actual installation process. It's pretty simple. So get both of those things installed. The information is in the top level of those directories. So I've actually got them both installed here on this Raspberry Pi. And let me see if I can bring that up here. So I've got a shell on the Raspberry Pi, and I've got a copy of ygate.craig.py. Let me just move, because that has my personal information in it. I'm just going to move it to ygate.py. Now what I'm going to do is just run YGate, and I'm going to send the output to a file, and then Direwatch is going to read that and display all the information it sees. So we're running this right now. In the background, it's running. It'll display some errors because I can't see some GPIO pins, but you can ignore those because we're not actually running Direwolf, we're running Direwatch. All right, so now let's run the Direwatch command, and I'm going to give it some command line options like the title, the log file that we're outputting to, that's output.txt, and I'm giving it the -O so we see one station at a time on the screen for one, and then my latitude and longitude here. And we're going to run Direwatch, and we're going to see what happens over here. That we should start seeing APRS stations pop up on the screen. Again, you can ignore those errors as they start rolling in, and of course there we certainly do. So what we're doing is pulling APRS packet data over the SCU20 cable using the modem built into the Yaesu, which is a really nice modem, and sending that packet information in text form to the Raspberry Pi. We're using YGate to decode that and output it to a file, and then we're using Direwatch to display it on the page here, or on this little display on your Raspberry Pi. So we've actually successfully smashed YGate and Direwatch together so you can actually display and record and become an IGate. Sending all APRS data traffic to the internet, and you can actually see what's going on in your radio. So again, this will work with the FTM100, 200, 300, 400, 500, provided you have the SCU20 cable. That's really all you need, is that and a Raspberry Pi. So this is important. Why do you even want an IGate? So this is actually where you show up on the internet. So this is my position. We can see this is the YGate. We can see information about it. So you got out to aprs.fi, and you can see all of the information about your IGate. All right, so guys, thank you very much for the support. I really appreciate it. This channel wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the patrons, and there are just a stunning number of you. There's no way, I don't think I can read all of the names now. In fact, I'd be lucky to actually display them all. I still need that scroller, that kind of thing. So it's patreon.com/KM6LYW. It really helps to like and subscribe too. The more subscribers there are, the more digital users there are out there, the more people there are to talk to. And one of the big reasons to be a subscriber is it gives you access to the DigiPi SD card image, which implements all of the data modes we talk about on this channel and makes them all available. I don't have my phone here. On your tablet, your Wi-Fi device, or more specifically, just a web browser. That's all you need. So the DigiPi SD card image turns a Raspberry Pi into a data transceiver that you just hook up to your radio. So this is kind of like a real simple version of DigiPi. It just does APRS traffic. But the DigiPi does everything. So digipi.org if you want more information about it. You can download it. It goes to patrons, and it implements all of these cool modes. And I'm scrolling through this like crazy, you know, the bulletin board. These are all the modes here for DigiPi. But anyways, patrons, thank you so much. Hey, my name is Craig. I'm in California. This has been another KM6LYW radio production, and I am clear.